Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the lab. Welcome back to the thirstiest podcast you've ever seen. Just kidding. Yeah, we're back with another episode of SOYcast. With me today, of course, the wonderful Andre Knox.
What up?
We got Ace Embrador.
What's good in the hood?
And of course, Albizi Embrador. How y'all doing?
Cheers.
Hey, cheers to that. Cheers to that.
He's got wings over there.
I need them.
Yeah, does he have wings on his shoes?
I gotta look fly.
Damn, that boy is great. So yeah, I don't know if y'all have been watching lately, but the NBA playoffs or the playing games have been pretty freaking exciting. We got the Lakers winning yesterday, Boston locked in, and now it looks like Washington's gonna lock into the eighth spot in the East. What are you guys' takeaways so far from what you've seen?
It's weird, because a lot of people was like against the play-in tournament, and it's ending up actually pretty good, even though the Lakers are in it, and we would want the Lakers to actually secure a spot already before the play-in, but it does make it really exciting, and I look forward to the games. I watched all the games except the Washington Celtics game. Oh, Washington
Indiana
game playing on right now, but I've seen all of the games and they've all been really, really good. And so kudos to Silver.
What about you, Albert?
Yeah, I was extremely hyped. I did watch the Washington game yesterday. Was that yesterday? Or
2 days ago?
Yeah. And like I usually don't watch a lot of basketball games during the regular season, and so watching the play-ins, I was definitely at the edge of my seat watching each and every one game, because like this matters, like whether or not you get into the playoffs. And Silver deserves a gold star.
You, sir, gets a gold star.
I see what you did there. Knox, your Lakers yesterday, man. They got me scared in the first half.
Yeah, I think it's all of our Lakers, right? Yeah, I mean it's stressful. What a game. But yeah, I was watching that, hiding behind the couch. I was trying to make sure like I was setting up the right feng shui so that we could win and stuff, all the sort of rally stuff that a fan has to do to make sure the team wins. But yeah, I mean it's fun. I don't know if we would be saying that we like it if the Lakers lost and then they were looking like they might be out. Be like, no, that's not fair. We had injuries and our record should put us here. But so far it's been pretty entertaining. Steph Curry's like not of this world. But fortunately we had Braun, triple times. He saw 3 rims, so it was more likely to go in. So like he did like a little matrix thing and saw like a 3D version, so he could like get proper full analysis, and then plunk, it went in. So yeah, man, it was cool. Great game.
He definitely Steph Curry.
Yeah, what was that with Steph? He's all like slapping him on his chest and stuff. Like, I mean, you can't touch the person when they shoot. That should have been a foul. I don't know what all that was about. He was all chirping his ear and touching his chest and stuff. So
just as long as we don't poke his other eye, I would have been okay with that. But
that's true. Like, come on now. If we slapped Steph on any of his like random ass layups, that would have been like a foul. So it's crazy.
How cool would it be with Braun playing with 2 eye patches on?
And if you guys really listen to the replay and listen really closely, when LeBron shot it, you can hear him say, Kobe.
Oh, wow.
Just very gently, but you can definitely hear it.
Slightly, huh?
Yeah.
Slightly. Was there? Okay.
I think I heard it too after it went in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Steph Curry is out of this world. Do you guys have superstition like, oh man, every time I watch them play, like they always lose?
That's how I am for sure.
Yeah, that's how I am too. It's like when I hear them in a winning streak, and then all right, cool. Let me check in on a game. Yeah, they lose by 73 points, and like, okay, cool. I'll do the Lakers a favor and not watch the next game.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch them, because if I watch them, I feel like they'll lose, and so I try to avoid watching them.
Isn't that funny?
You're doing all of us a favor by not watching them.
Yeah.
What was the field goal percentage by the top 3 in like the first half? Wasn't it like 14% for LeBron, AD, and Schroeder?
And Schroeder, yeah.
Man, what was that? rough. But I guess having all that hype means like eventually, you can put together a couple little runs and get back into games. So
I was already preparing for Memphis, and I remembered, okay, well, there's 4 quarters to this game. I really thought we were going to be looking at Memphis and then hopefully seeing Utah in the first round, but I'm glad they pulled it off, and we got the good old Suns. Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Lakers wanted Phoenix, to be honest. I mean, they're a matchup nightmare for any team, but Phoenix literally has no answer for LeBron and AD. So I think that they really wanted that game, and they also looked out of shape, to be honest. Like in the first half, I was like, "What are you guys athletes? Like you guys look gassed." I get it, the injuries and all this other stuff, but yeah, I legit thought like they're just tired.
Yeah, definitely in the first half they look very like chilled and relaxed. But my question is, you don't think Aiden's a good matchup with AD?
No, I think Aiden's too slow, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Like offensively, I think they can do almost the same things. Aiden's a little bit more of a watered down version of AD because he can kind of shoot. He's big, does his thing, has a power game too. But AD's just too fast. Like he has guard like moves in a power forward body, but he has a power game and a graceful game. Like he's legit a walking mismatch for
Oh, wow.
anyone in the league except Bam. I think the only guy legit that can like match AD is Bam, but
How about Kevin
that's
Durant? Do
my
you think
bias.
Kevin Durant would give
Too
AD
small.
Too
Too
small?
small.
Oh yeah.
Even
Too
though
small.
like
Like,
even though Kevin Durant's like almost technically 7 feet.
yeah, no, yeah, but like he's too small in terms of strength. Like AD's gonna outpower him. Like if you're faster than Anthony Davis, which Kevin Durant is, he's stronger than you. And if you're stronger than him, he's faster than you. Like that's why he's a mismatch to me. And like a guy like Bam, Draymond did a really good job last night for almost the whole game. But even then, Draymond's short. Like AD could shoot over him if he really wanted to, if he really had to.
Tell
So
Draymond he's short to his face.
oh yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah. Relative to Anthony Davis, Draymond Green is short. Yes, 100%. He is an undersized power forward. And I would say that to his
tell
face.
KD that he's small to his face. I bet you.
I
I
would,
bet you
yeah.
he'll tweet you off his burner account. real quick.
Dang, yeah, no, yeah. You don't want to get on KD's bad side, man. He's gonna flame you up in the DMs.
Yeah, much worse than Kwame Brown.
Oh my gosh, that Kwame needs to chill on
What about
that.
but you guys saw that Michael Rappaport thing, right? With KD?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all
Wow.
bad. That's
He didn't
bad
get
on both
fined or
sides.
anything for that, did he?
Who?
No.
Rappaport?
No, KD.
Oh no.
well, I know KD got a fine though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But I'll say, yeah, like he was pretty aggressive with the civilian. That was crazy. So John, better watch out. Hopefully they don't watch this podcast. We'll see.
I love you,
mean,
KD.
yeah, mad respect for him, but I'm just speaking objectively from a matchup standpoint. I'm not saying him as like can KD guard Anthony Davis? No, but can Anthony Davis guard KD? No, like they just can't. But when it comes down to like matchups and X's and O's and all that, you want more mismatches to create easier shots for your team, right? Because basketball is a game where you're only as good as your strongest players. And that's why you can have a big three and dominate the league. Well, Anthony Davis and LeBron is almost like a big three just because they create so many opportunities for other guys on the court. That's just my opinion on that. If KD wants to get at me, like, bro, I'm nobody. You're Kevin Durant. Like, it's cool, man. It's cool.
It's cool, man.
Yeah,
It's cool. Hey, it's cool. It's cool,
It's cool.
man.
You want? Hey, if you want to go shoot around, like it's nothing. It's nothing. I
Oh,
have
so
all
you're
your
gonna teach
shoes.
him how to shoot? Is what you're saying?
Oh,
I didn't say
damn.
that. I didn't say you're putting. I didn't
Yeah.
say that. I said let's go shoot
Now
around.
it needs lessons
Oh,
from you,
my.
huh?
Yeah.
This- wow.
Westbrook also got another triple double tonight. Jerks.
The walking triple double. Yeah.
I still think he's an S tier. I'm still thinking about that tier list, but yeah, okay, it's fine. I'm not salty.
Oh well,
If
what
we're going
about
back in
AD?
episodes-
Or what about AD though? AD sounds like y'all talking like he's a SS.
When used
Oh.
correctly,
Yeah, man. He was looking super sucky the first 3 quarters, man. I was like, yo, man, don't let Draymond push you around, man.
Yeah,
That's fair.
honestly, I don't have too much faith in the coaching staff, because the rotations were kind of weird. I mean, they did figure it out towards the end of the game, but it was still it's hard to watch I mean, you should know these players by then, with through practice and whatnot. But yeah, rotations were kind of weird.
Well, it was weird. I didn't know AD missed this many games, but he missed 36 games,
Half
which
the
is half the
season.
season. So that's kind of crazy. So it's almost like they're learning how to play with each other again. Like watching them, like a lot of miscommunication, a lot of stolen balls, a lot of like
It's all about
um
timing.
yeah.
Basketball's
So
all about timing.
But that's
for them,
like every time I watch the Lakers, it's like 20
Yeah.
turnovers.
Agreed.
It's like, I don't know if it's just when I watched, as you said, like we're cursing them or what. But every time, way too many turnovers for a championship team. Insane.
It's either like, and a lot of standing around too. I feel like not a lot of plays get called unless Schroeder is there. So probably why Schroeder is like such an integral part of that team. But if it's not in LeBron's hand or AD's hand, everyone's just standing around.
Yeah, versus like
yeah,
Golden
agreed.
State, who moved the ball well. They had body
Mhm.
movement. They played a little bit more like a team instead of ISO or like let's just exploit our talent, right? Because that's what
And they
LeBron and
didn't
AD.
even have Clay Thompson. So man, imagine how that team's gonna look next season.
Or Oubre or Wiseman.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
that's a lot of bigs. Or Ubre is a big man too, right?
It's a small forward.
Basically, yeah, he's a small forward. He's height, good wing defender, slasher. Yeah,
So Ubre is a much peskier. Well, Bazemore. Oh no, actually Wiggins did a really good job in the beginning, but Ubre is actually a pesky defender as well too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the more bodies you can throw at LeBron, right? Like, gotta throw him off. But yeah. Well, guys, today I actually, to transition to the next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk some 90s sitcoms with y'all, man. I don't know why, but something came up recently from through the grapevine and it got me vibing. I know that Friends reunion's coming out soon and there was a Fuller House and it just, keeps reminding me like what are the shows that we grew up watching? So
Girl
wanted to
Meets World, right? Is that what
there's a
it
Girl
was?
Meets
Yeah.
World. Yeah, all these shows that were like so great.
We just need
Got
Urkel to come back.
What's
is
weird
he?
is I've never seen any of these 90s shows because I was born in the 2000s. So I kind of
Uh, man, that's unfortunate for
jokes.
Shut up. No, I'm kidding.
Shut
Well,
your
all
old
right,
ass up.
Ace. All right, Ace. If you trying to say you 60 years old and stuff, what's your top five 90 sitcoms?
I mean, if we're gonna go down tiers, my first one. Well, we're gonna start from the bottom up.
Okay.
We're gonna go Home Improvement, number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, we're gonna go with Mr. Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Okay.
Number 3, Mr. Martin. And number 2,
The Bad Boys themselves.
yeah, exactly, yeah, good. Number 2 is Amigos, or better known as Friends. And then my top one is Seinfeld. Thank you, Dre.
I think we all can thank Dre for Seinfeld and
Yeah.
showing us the light side of the force. But Ace, I have a question. So does that mean you watched Seinfeld post 90s or did you watch it as it was released?
So during the 90s, I watched more Martin, Fresh Prince, and Home Improvement. I didn't watch Friends or Seinfeld during the 90s. It was after the 90s. And then I just had more of a connection to it after it was aired, I guess. I didn't watch it when it was airing.
Mhm.
And maybe for Seinfeld, it was just too mature or too smart for me back then. So I didn't understand it. So I didn't give it the time of day. But when I finally got reconnected with Seinfeld, such a good classic show.
Is it classic or timeless?
It's a good show.
Damn it. All right. Well, before we talk about those shows specifically, Albert, what's your top five?
Damn. So my top five, growing up, I would have to say Home Improvement as well.
That's number five?
Yeah, number 5. Honestly, I can't put these in order because it's all in my head.
Okay, so yeah, no order. Go ahead.
Fresh Prince. Boy Meets World. Is that considered a sitcom? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Friends. Saved by the Bell. Damn, see, like I had it all in my head.
Isn't that 5? Fresh Prince, Home Improvement, Boy Meets World, Saved by the Bell, and Friends.
Mhm.
Man, he's trying to put 6 in there.
Damn,
Oh.
Albert, you try to get.
Sorry, I had one extra finger on my hand. Sorry, my bad. One of my deforms. But yeah, the only reason, like, I would put Siphon in there, but I just feel guilty because I didn't watch it when I was growing up. It was way ahead of my time. I didn't understand it. But if I watched it post 2000s, and it's definitely one of the best 90s sitcoms ever.
Well, we make the rules here, so we can say, like, it doesn't have to be while we're growing up. Probably it's in our top 5 because we watched it growing up. But if it's a 90s sitcom, it's a 90s.
But my
Yeah.
guilty conscience, I just can't do that.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I don't want to be a fake. You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Albert got that integrity.
I got the guilty conscience. I mean, yeah, because we could have said like most influential sitcoms or shows growing up too. But no, I feel you. I feel you, Beezy.
Go ahead, Knox.
Okay, if I'll do it. So obviously we're gonna have some shows overlap, but number 5, I have Family Matters. I mentioned Urkel before. I don't know how you guys don't have Urkel in there. He was the guy. And
Did I do that?
Carl Winslow, and then his Urkel's cousin Myrtle Urkel. Come on now. But yeah, so yeah, Urkel number 5, hilarious. Yeah, Jaleel White, and when he switched on over and did the Stefan Urkel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, even Stefan used to be Urkel.
He like just got his posture up and stuff, and like that was kind of crazy. That showed like how good of an actor he really was, right? Because you kind of forget like that's not how they are like day to day. He was probably out like after filming, like crushing the streets for the females and stuff. But yeah, number 4 I have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. 3 I have Martin. 2 I have Married with Children. That was probably the show I watched the most as a kid. Like I was obsessed with Married with Children. Al Bundy.
I remember it always came on after The Simpsons at night.
Yeah. They were like a little bit later, and then I'd be up like a little bit later than I should be, because I'd have to watch like an episode or 2 of Married with Children, and then number 1, Seinfeld. No, so I did watch that one as a kid, like middle school to high school time. I think it was more middle school, and then like maybe it was kind of ending around high school, but I liked it. It wasn't like my favorite thing of all time. Like, I loved Kramer and Newman. Like I kind of liked more of the slapstick stuff because it said, yeah, it is more of an intelligent show. Like a lot of the jokes are kind of nuanced or, historical references, that sort of thing. And then just as I got older, I kind of, would keep watching it and keep watching it and like kind of find more and more jokes and more subtleties throughout. And then it just became like the favorite. So yeah, number 1, Seinfeld for sure. But Married with Children was like my most impactful, like as a kid.
It's funny. That's Albert's DJ name is DJ Subtlety.
Oh, right.
Oh, I thought you meant DJ Married with Children. I was like, what? I was like, what?
No, Subtlety. I forgot to say, I think we're keeping this to live action or people sitcoms because obviously I think we all watched The Simpsons growing up, and that one's just phenomenal. I watched a lot of The Simpsons and Futurama, and even nowadays like Family Guy and all that. So yeah, definitely let's keep it live action for now. Studio audience, all that good stuff. But for me, I definitely overlap with everyone, but I have one show that wasn't talked about. So Home Improvement was my number 5, and I watched that daily. I think it was on for an hour every day, so I watched it every weekday, an hour of that. Fresh Prince also. Then that's number 4. So my number 3, which started in the 90s, and I'm gonna consider a 90s show, is That 70s Show. And I know a lot more people watched it in the 2000s, but I remember I watched it from the start, and yeah, just absolutely hilarious. And then from there, my number 2 is Boy Meets World, because that was probably the show that influenced me the most. Who didn't have a crush, right? Who didn't have a crush on Topanga? Everybody did.
Actually ran into Topanga at Manhattan Beach.
Oh,
and I was kind of blown away. I was like, whoa, it's Topanga. And then when I saw her light up a cigarette, I was like, ew, Topanga smokes.
Yeah. Oh man, that can shatter young boys' dreams. But yeah.
So you weren't trying to get that smoke?
Nah, man. I was like, yo, Corey about to bend the corner and sock the shit out of me. I'm good.
Man.
Nah, that's what she was dating Hunter, right?
Nah, they dated like for like an episode. Albert, don't
Yeah,
do that.
it was the same episode.
Oh my gosh. Bless you, Andre.
Bless you.
But yeah, so
Thank
but
you.
they taught me what love is, right? Like, he went to Disney World for her.
A
And
spoiler
then
alert.
okay. Okay. And then number one, Seinfeld. But yeah, I'm going the other route. So I didn't watch it too much growing up, just like everyone else. But Dre definitely opened the door, and it's in my like top 5 all-time shows. Like, no, like we're going expansion format. So like no variables, and just like shows that I can watch nonstop. Like Seinfeld is
Right,
I
right.
think
none.
I think Dre would put on Seinfeld. He was, all right, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom. And he would just throw on Seinfeld for us so we won't hear anything. And he'd be in there for hours. So like, whoa, we've already caught 2 episodes. Where's Dre? So
Erroneous,
Hours.
we were
erroneous
over
on
Dre's
both
house.
counts.
Hours, Dre. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, but yeah, whenever we would just hang out and do whatever, eat or whatever it was, like we always had Seinfeld in the background, and it really grew on me for sure. Yeah, it's Kramer, Newman is great, the Bizarro, like all the superhero references, which I
Yeah.
didn't even understand. They were like they were the coolest nerds before pop culture was like all about nerds, and they were sneakerheads before
Yeah, I was gonna say
sneakerheads
Jerry
was a
Seinfeld
thing.
was a sneakerhead himself.
That's true. That's true.
One of the OG cats. So
Yeah, Wale knows about that.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think
Speaking
we
of
can go.
Wale, this is gonna be our first guest. I mean, no, just kidding.
Well, first, what?
Imagine he comes in like another little window shows up and it's Wale. He's all butthurt about something because brother always be butthurt.
Very, very underrated for sure. Wale, very, very underrated, unfortunately. But yeah, well, let's go into a little bit more because we all had what? Dre didn't have Home Improvement, but Ace, me, Albert, we all had that as number 5.
Yeah.
What sticks out to you about that show the most, Ace?
I just love the family value of that show and the cool dad, Tim the Toolman Taylor. I think he's the one that introduced me to dad jokes and he was the epitome of the dad that's like, man, stop dad. And he was just trying to be kind of cool and laid back. And he had his own TV show. He had everything going for him. He had good I forgot what was the mom's name again?
Jill?
Jill was kind of a baddie to me. So
Wait, the mom or
yeah, the
the
mom.
lady working on the show with them?
No, that was Pamela Anderson for a minute, right?
No,
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
it switched, but I think Dre's talking about the brunette, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were
Yeah.
giving, yeah, okay, you're their hotties, but the mom was hot to me. Like, yo, this mom is kind of cool, and she's a, when I figured out the word MILF, I was like, whoa, this is what a MILF is. So, shout out Jill, man, thank you.
I really liked all the grunting that Tim did because it was
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of grunting.
Yeah,
No, no, because whatever
You get Home Improvement, you got some home videos.
No, man, because when Tim was like, oh yeah, you got to fix it this way. Whenever, because he was so clumsy too. Whenever someone would correct me, like, oh yeah, he was just always like grunt. Yeah. That was, I mean,
Yeah, they had good.
Thought that was
running
cool.
gags. You have to give it to them. What's going to make a good '90s sitcom and have staying power is like a running gag. And Home Improvement had a lot of running gags, right?
Mhm.
He had
Yeah,
neighbor
didn't you have a
Wilson.
JTT poster up in your room, Johnny? Or unless you took it down, it's cool, bro.
what's JTT?
Jonathan Taylor
now
Thomas,
he's
all of
playing
a
all-
sudden, hey, JTT.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
all of a sudden he forgot about
you.
No. I had DiCaprio. You have it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Still white boy with long hair, but it was DiCaprio. Come on, Ace. Come on, get your white boys straight. We don't all look alike. Nah, man, never that. But Dre's right. The neighbor that you can only see the top half of his face, Wilson.
That was very-
Well said. That
That was a really good, like Dre
Yeah.
said, a running gag or a running,
Yeah.
effect for the show was Wilson. Well, yeah, that was a super genius for them to add him.
Mhm. I don't think so, Tim.
Oh gosh.
Al Borland. Yeah, he was really cool, man. He made flannels look really cool too.
That's true. He
Definitely
was
a lumberjack.
jerking before it was a thing, huh?
Yeah, he was
Jerking with
definitely
hip
a
drop,
fashion setter before he knew it. Before
SpongeBobbing and all that sort of stuff. Wow.
Y'all ready to bring the tool belt back?
what is that? Is that a
Because they always
the
wore
tool?
tool belts.
Oh, I was about to say, is that a chapter off a Kama Sutra book that we don't know of, man?
What euphemism is this?
Yeah, that is. Wait, is this a TikTok challenge? Are you on
Yeah, man.
TikTok?
No, man, no. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think we all had Fresh Prince on our list, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, Albert, what's good with Fresh Prince?
Dude, Will Smith. I mean,
Yeah.
need I say more? Yeah, just like all these other sitcoms in the 90s, I think I learned a lot from this growing up. Um, and then the classic episode of, finally meeting his dad, um, and then moving out into the outhouse.
Mhm.
Carlton, just a lot of classic characters, classic, episodes.
Knox, what about you? I know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like Will Smith, what a star. He was just like a fun rapper, entertainer guy, and someone's like, "Hey, we want to make a whole show around you," and he came like haven't had like any acting experience before that, I don't think, and just was just able to just like
Mhm.
do it. So I mean, obviously the whole cast is great, but
Mhm.
yeah, Will Smith, makes the show. It's about him, but yeah, like this one, because I listed this and then Martin above it. I had Martin just because of like more laughs, but obviously Fresh Prince, like a Boy Meets World, like it hits different, right? It's a lot more emotional.
Mhm.
Uncle Phil, like he was like the uncle kind of for everyone, right? Like
Right.
um, there's a lot of emotion and kind of poignant things, but like you didn't feel like they were kind of beating you over the head with it. Like I know, like nowadays, for better or worse, like everything seems to be socially conscious, which is good. But I think like we've kind of lost the art of like entertaining as well
Yeah.
as just kind of like having it in there and like kind of having it hidden, not just kind of like being so direct and like bludgeoning you over the head with it. So I feel like
Subliminal.
Fresh Prince was good for that, like
Yeah.
being really funny, lots of moments. Like I mean, the Carlton dance, a lot of epic things, but also was balanced with like heartfelt moments and stuff. So yeah, great show.
That was actually the first sitcom where I kind of teared up. Of course we all the episode with his dad leaving,
Mhm.
and that was such an emotional scene, and I never understood what that was all about, right? And then when it aired, when I was watching it, I was like, whoa, you know, this is crazy, and it's making me kind of like tear up and cry. Like, whoa, just from a sitcom, and it was, I always saw Fresh Prince as like a funny, hilarious comedic show, but man, they very diverse. They hit an emotion like, whoa, this is this is a really really good show, and also that's the first show where Aunt Vivian got from darker to lighter during from one season to the next.
It's fair. Yeah, you're right, Knox. It definitely hit a different way, relatable. Um, Ace, I know what you're talking about too. What Uncle Phil, when Will, it was in that episode too, right here where Will is like crying and he hugs Uncle Phil, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little bit too young to understand what was going on, and so when he said, I'll come back. When the dad was saying, "I'll come back," so I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, he's coming back. We just never see him the rest of the show, but all I know he's coming back.
he's like, "What's Will's problem? He's coming back."
Yeah.
Jeez, Will.
don't
But,
hold your breath, Albert.
But obviously, as I get older and I rewatched the whole series over again, and then watching that episode, I definitely did tear up. Yeah, it was hard hitting for
Definitely
sure.
a powerful moment, and also Jordan Fives dubbed the Fresh Princes.
Mhm.
So we all associate the fives to Mr. Will Smith. So kudos to Mr. Will Smith.
And he rocked it without laces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I remember that. I remember I took the laces off all my shoes. And then when I couldn't walk, I was like, nope, put it right back on. But
And who's the Carlton sister, the younger one?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Actually, and then
Oh yeah,
her singing in that student store,
that's true.
I kind of had a crush, but you know,
Oh yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Like she became like a pop star for like a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
She had that hit Daydreaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
isn't
I-
that Lupe Fiasco?
Uh
No, daydreaming, not daydreaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about? I mean, also a classic moment. I mean, obviously, is Aunt Viv with the dancing in like in that studio, like trying to show up the younger girls and stuff. That's a classic. Like especially with the black folk. Black
yeah,
folk.
she
Love that scene.
she definitely put it on. I was like, whoa. Till today, I'm still trying to
Yeah,
learn
you
that
try to-
choreography. I just like that part when she goes, like, okay, get it, Viv. We see you, Viv. Get it, girl.
I know Albert brought up crushes, and this is gonna be a little bit off of the top five, but growing up, like, do you guys have crushes on other, sitcoms that you're watching, like those girls? Because personally, I had huge crush on like Tia and Tamara Mowry from Sister Sister, and that was the only reason why I watched that show. Not because I liked it, but I just thought that they were just so attractive.
What a
But
creep.
like,
Kelly Kapowski would be
What a creep.
my crush.
Yeah, no, yeah, Kelly. I mean,
Yeah.
Topanga from like for sure Topanga, but then Kelly was just like that, like all American darling type.
And this is the reason why I didn't add Saved by the Bell in my top five, because I watched that religiously growing up. And when I got to my high school, it was nothing like Saved by the Bell. So I was like, you lied to me, Saved by the Bell. Zach, Slater, Kelly, Lisa, Screech, y'all some liars, especially you, Jesse. So that's the reason why I didn't put it in my top five. But Kelly Kapowski definitely was one of my crushes growing up.
for sure. What about you, Albert?
Yeah, I think the typical Kelly Kapowski, Topanga, and then Ashley. I think those were the top ones for me.
And also Jill from Home Improvement.
Oh man, I'm saying, hey Heidi. Okay, just like
Heidi,
go,
that was
Heidi,
yes,
yeah.
Heidi.
Oh,
Hey.
definitely.
Yes.
He wasn't hiding nothing though.
she can get it.
Oh man. All right, cool. So that's Home Improvement, Fresh Prince. Albert, did you have a different 4 or 5, or did you have Home Improvement and Fresh?
I had Home Improvement Fresh.
Okay.
I had
And then
Woodsboro.
okay, we can talk Saved by the Bell now, because Kelly Kapowski, Zach, get rich quick schemes. And we saw him from middle school through high school. We don't talk about college years, but like that whole vibe was good for me. Screech was a dummy. I'm not gonna lie, I was always frustrated with Lisa Turtle. She always got on my nerves.
Yeah, I don't think she ever got on my nerves, but we do have a Fresh Prince, not Fresh Prince, a Saved by the Bell reference in one of our earlier episodes where Dre was talking about the friendship bracelets. I think we are talking about Marvel and DC, and then DC had the headbands, but kudos to Saved by the Bell, good reference.
I don't think they can get away with doing that today, though.
Yeah,
We're talking about the headdress episode, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Which one?
they pushed them when Zach.
Oh
tries
yeah,
to be
yeah. They have a couple cringe moments that you look back on for sure. That one definitely wouldn't fly nowadays.
No, because I know you watched Saved by the Bell a lot. Do you remember what happens in that episode? Do you remember why he was dressed up like that? Because I can't recall exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think if that was the one where they wanted to put like oil refineries all over the school, maybe.
Right.
And then, this is like a
Oh,
sacred,
yeah.
like native, like Indian land. And then like Zach finds out that he's part Native American, like
He was like 1/17th Native American.
and so yeah, he starts wearing that. I think I mean I could be mixing them up because there were two separate ones, right? I mean, because then I remember the oil spill like happens and all the animals get like messed up. So I'm not sure if that was a different one, or if that's all part of the same episode, but I think it has something to do with that. Like something
Sounds
to do
like
with like
Zach.
there's like sacred ground and we need to
Mhm.
like not let the school do something bad to like the sacred native like ancestral spot or something. But yeah, they have like the whitest boy on the show, like doing like the Native American thing, and and then Breach was acting real, not PC. So
even though I would think AC Slater would probably be passing off more with Native American in his blood. We're like, nope, we're gonna give this one to Zach Morris. Zach, you're up. You're gonna be Native American in this episode.
Well, a quick shout out to Mrs. Bliss or Miss Bliss, like, and like the show, like Saved by the Bell before, it was like really Saved by the Bell, and it was like,
Yeah.
I think it was like, I can't remember what it was called. It was like Bliss's something, but it was like for one or two
Yeah.
seasons, and then they like switched over to Saved by the Bell. But yeah, there was a couple moments. I mean, obviously it wasn't as funny back then. It was more just like they were trying to work with what they had with the kids, but that was kind of cool when they had that. And there was one girl, there was an episode where this girl was like a pop star, and she was like Mrs. Bliss's like niece.
Yeah.
And then Zach finds out, like, I had a tough crush on that girl as far as crushes. But
Yeah, Mrs. Bliss was kind of
obscure.
hot. Oh,
But shout out to that one. I'm curious with you guys though. Okay, what was worse or better, like preference? The summer episodes where they're at the beach, or the college years?
Oh,
college years, hand down.
the country club one, right?
Oh, it was the college years were hands down
Yeah.
down the worst.
The worst?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they had
Or
that
the
creeper ass
BBC.
teacher. Y'all remember that
Oh,
creeper ass
right.
teacher? He had like a mullet and a big old beard.
Wasn't he like an ex-football player too or something?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he played for the 49ers. So chill.
No,
chill.
Because they wanted to replace Belding, right? Like they wanted like a younger Belding mentor type figure. But to me, I was like, why are you in their dorm room all the time?
I mean, they didn't have a sock on the D handle, so he's
Yeah,
like,
man.
I might as well roll on in.
What does a sock on the handle mean, Dre?
Oh, yo.
Chill.
I mean, you have a stock on the other handle.
Oh,
But you remember when
geez.
Michael Scott used to say that he used to hang, like, professors in his college days used to hang out with the students, and that's what he missed the most. So maybe that's why the professor was hanging out with the kids.
Maybe.
No, but the country club was way better. Wasn't that who's that famous girl now? She used to be
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
not was it King of Queens?
I think so. Yeah, she was like
King.
the mom or the wife on that one.
Yeah.
She was,
Oh,
and she
yeah,
was
yeah,
like a big
yeah.
Scientologist lady or whatever too.
Yeah, she was introduced. Well, not introduced, but that's where I first got
Yeah,
the
I thought she was cute. I liked her in that. She was
Yeah,
kind of
she was-
like she had like a
that
little stick up her
Brooklyn-
butt and stuff, but
that
like
Brooklyn,
I
New
kinda-
York vibe.
Yeah. I liked her in that show.
Yeah. So I definitely would choose a country club over the college years.
Over the
I don't
college.
even honestly I don't even remember any episodes from the college years. And I
Yeah,
didn't think there was even
same.
a movie or like a quick
Yeah.
thing where was it Saved by the Bell wedding
Yeah.
day or
Right.
something?
Yep.
Yo, man, I stopped watching them when they went to college.
Same. I remember I watched it, but yeah, there's no fond memories or anything. So moved on from that quickly. And with that, let's move on to the next one. Dre, you put Martin number 3, right?
Oh yes, sir.
And I definitely think Martin was ahead of its time as a sitcom. One, Martin Lawrence is hilarious, and he definitely killed it from the 90s to the early 2000s. But also, like, just the fact that he played, I don't remember any other person like playing multiple roles and having as many like original ideas as him. But
Right.
Dre, I'll let you talk about it more.
Right. I mean, the one thing I would think of would be Eddie Murphy. I guess
Right,
he's kind of like the
right.
main other person who's done it, so they're kind of the same in that same vein.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as the TV show, just pure like ridiculousness in a sense. Like it feels like a show that could come out now, and that maybe the kids would like because it's just unabashedly like crazy. Has like a lot of great lines. Martin wilding out. The damn Gina. You have Shanae doing crazy things. You have Cole with his girl, like Big Shirley, that you never see. I think sometimes we see her hand. So that's, I guess there's like a lot of fat jokes in it. Okay, this is also another show. Anything from the 90s, I think we can kind of say it's a product of its time.
Sure.
And I guess it's kind of sad how politically correct we are, but in a way it's good because we don't want to like hurt people's feelings. We don't want to be like like unjustly rude to those
Mm-hmm.
about things that they can't control, right? You know what I mean? Like, so I guess that's the whole like kind of fine line with comedy. It's like if someone can't control something about the way they were born or how they look, then it's like usually not funny to make fun of them. Other things like maybe it's like open season. But yeah, Martin definitely went in. He's very aggressive towards Gina's friend Pam, and always like calling her like a horse and making fun of her, and like they're
Got them
back and forth.
BDBs.
Yeah, like telling her to get the step in when he kicks people out, and then like I think my favorite side character, so Bruh Man is like a very obscure guy, but he'd be crawling through the window randomly and just like, yo, Bruh Man, what's up? Nothing, man. Just came to get a sandwich, man. So it's just like a lot of small things.
Bro, man, where you from, man? I'm from the 5th floor, man.
Bruh, man. So yeah, I mean, I just love like Fresh Prince, had a lot more kind of heartfelt moments, but like I I've never laughed as hard at a show as I have with Martin. I think Martin has my highest like laughs, like side splitting on the floor, rolling when like there's a burglar and he's like wrestling with the burglar, but you can clearly see that it's like a stuffed like doll thing, but like they don't care on the show. Like it's like they aren't even trying to hide it. Like they're just gonna have him tossing the thing around and doing like pile drivers. It's just so I really liked that aspect about Martin. It's just like they weren't ashamed to be so ridiculous and like kind of break the fourth wall in that sense. Also like King Beef. There's a lot of characters in that one.
Jerome, also forgot I was saying Jerome in the house.
Oh, get it, Ace.
Jerome in the house. Come on, Jerome in the house.
But yeah, man. It's a great show. It suffers from like the first two to admit, as the seasons go on, the later seasons, second half gets a lot worse than like the first half. So usually if I see it on BET, I'll check and see if it's like part of the first 3 seasons. If it's like 5th or 6th, it's kind of like like they start to like lose their steam. But early seasons was just phenomenal.
Definitely. I mean, growing up too, like if you didn't talk about Martin the day after it came out, that was basically what we talked about at school. Like, oh man, this is my favorite scene. Oh, how about when Jerome or Shanae was doing this? That was basically the topic of conversation the day after.
Talk.
Yeah. So if you didn't watch it, you're definitely a knucklehead. So I made sure I watched it and joined in on the conversations and had to learn the Jerome move real quick.
What's the Jerome move, Ace? You still got it?
Yeah. There you go.
Hey.
Jerome in the house.
So yeah, that one's definitely a good one. Like I feel like if some of our viewers haven't really seen it, you have a chance, definitely give it a look. I think the first couple seasons you'll like end up liking a lot.
Oh, it's definitely 100% hilarious. Hilarious. It's a really, really, like Dre said, it was one of the one of the only like sitcoms I really was just like, man, I couldn't stop laughing. It was really, really comedically. Martin was on another level.
Yeah, Martin was absolutely killing it for sure. During his run. And Dre well said. I don't know how we can follow that up. Albert?
I don't know how to follow that up. Albert?
Yeah, I know. I put him on the spot on purpose. But no, jokes.
I got you. No, it's chill. I got you. What I thought about it, if I'm going to be honest with you, in my own humble opinion, without being sentimental, of course, without offending anyone who thinks differently from my own point of view, but also looking into this matter in a distinct
Okay.
I would get to the point, Albert.
I would like to say I agree.
Oh wow.
So I respectfully agree.
You 100% disagree? Is that, or you 0% disagree?
0% disagree.
You 0% disagree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like a little fun fact, like now this isn't like a super exactly what happens because it's vague. I haven't looked into it for a while. I just kind of remember hearing stuff back when the show kind of ended. But I think the show ended early because Gina, Tisha Campbell, like she wanted out. And like from what I understand, could be wrong, so internet, please don't crucify me. But like Martin kind of fell really in love with her. Like they're man or
Chemistry.
girlfriend, whatever. Yeah, on the
Mhm.
show.
In real life?
Like, so in real life, I think he was taking it too far. Like he caught hella
Oh.
feelings in real
Mhm.
life because of their relationship on the show,
Mhm.
to where it got to a point where she was just like not comfortable. And I think he like made some passes, or really wanted them to be together, like as if they were like a couple, like meant to be on the show. And like that kind of started like the reason that the show had to end. So it's kind of wild.
No,
Damn.
I heard that too. So I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up because I don't have the full
Yeah, I don't
fact.
have the full thing, so
But then I 100% heard the same thing. Like, I was wondering why Martin was such a good show. What happened to it? Why did it fall apart? And why didn't it get its proper, like, farewell? But
Mhm.
from what I heard, it was just a lot of within the characters or within the cast. Like, it was they were feeling uneasy with Martin and Tisha Campbell because
Mhm.
of the whole. She felt unsafe, or she felt like he
Mhm.
was making aggressive, you know,
It just got
advancements.
awkward.
Yeah, aggressive
Mhm.
advancements towards her, and she didn't feel awkward. She didn't feel comfortable anymore on set.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Kind of wild.
Bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer. Ace, what was your third show? If you don't mind reminding.
Martin was my third show.
And so we got Martin, Fresh Prince, and Home Improvement from you, right, Ace? What was your
Yes,
second?
sir.
Friends, right?
Friends,
Amigos, as you call them.
amigos.
So I'll let you talk about that, and I'll reserve my opinion until after.
Well, it's a very controversial. A lot of people that I ever see on, so it's either you love Friends or you hate Friends. Um, um, are there sitcoms with loopholes? Definitely. This is a bunch of white people in New York struggling, but yet they have a loft and they're chilling in a coffee house every day. So how bad are you guys really struggling, right? I just love the character development from each character. That's where I kind of fell in love with it. The first episode I ever caught was the one with the prom video where they saw Ross, stepping up to the plate when Rachel was about to get a no show for her prom date, and Ross kind of stepped up. And Rachel never knew he was going to do this because it was all caught on prom video. And I was like, "Whoa, this is actually a cool little show, right?" So I was more emotionally attached to it, and it was after the '90s too that I started watching it. So yeah, it's just I enjoyed watching the characters grow from season one to the
Okay.
final season, and the journey was good. A lot of people argue, well, I don't get white humor. I mean, it is very corny, but I'm a cornball myself, so maybe that's why I like it so much.
I wouldn't call it white humor. I would just call it surface level. But again, that's my bias coming in now. Albert, did you like Friends?
Oh, I love Friends. Yeah, I grew
Yeah.
up watching it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like what he said, I think you either love it or hate it, but the majority of I've asked have seen it and loved it. I think Dre is the only person that I know that hasn't liked it, and I was just like, that kind of blew me or you too, John. That kind of blew me away. I was like, how do you not like it? But then it's either you're a Friends fan or a Seinfeld fan. So him being a Seinfeld fan, I understood because it's either one or the other.
Yeah. Before I let Dre articulate his beautiful ideas, that's a beautiful man. I watched Friends. CJ. I watched Friends 3 years ago, and I watched it all the way through. And actually, I compared it a lot to How I Met Your Mother, because How I Met Your Mother is one of the shows that I really love. And I thought, well, you can't have How I Met Your Mother without Friends. Andrea said that many a times. And I can see the similarities and like the homages from How I Met Your Mother to Friends. And I could see why Friends was such a good sitcom. To me, at the end of the day, I thought it was okay. I always thought like, oh, this is very surface level. Like, okay, it's predictable. I can see where you're going with this. Is it bad? No. Did they definitely like put in tons of money for like the episodes and everything that they were doing? Yeah. And overall, I thought like, oh, okay, this is a fine show. It just didn't go to the next level, at least for me with that. And part like the only like everyone said, oh, and it's really funny too. And I'm like, I only really laughed when Chandler dropped a random goofy one-liner. Like me personally, I thought Joey was well, it was fine. Rachel and Ross are absolutely infuriating. I thought that they're both super annoying. Monica was cool. Phoebe was like whatevs to me, but like Chandler, I was like, yeah, I fucks with this guy. Maybe because I have dumb, silly humor like him. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I hate Friends, but I would say like it was okay.
I feel
Yeah,
kind of sad because I feel like I'm the Phoebe of the group. So the way you think of Phoebe makes me, I feel like you're dissing me.
I 100% respectfully disagree with you, Albert. If anyone's Phoebe in the group, it's Bruce.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
So
yeah, like
I'm just playing
for the
Bruce.
longest time, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Friends is hilarious." I'm like, no, no, it's not. It's just a good. It's a good story to me. It's a good story from front to back. And once again, I'm a big person on character development, and I love watching the characters grow from the very first episode to the last episode. Did it make me cry like Fresh Prince? No. Did it make me laugh like Martin? No. I just enjoyed who the characters became, and I really was attached to them. And I was like, oh, just I enjoy just watching them. They're just cool people to me to kind of watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Knox, well, how do you feel about Friends? What's up with Friends?
I mean, obviously, I'm kind of on the same boat as like as you are. So no shade to anyone who loves the show. I mean, we all love what we love, and
Mm-hmm.
no one's opinion's better than the others. But yeah, I likewise got into it when it was on Netflix, so I did like a whole binge watching. So I didn't really watch it as a kid, and yeah, I just felt like as you said, service level. It was like the jokes seemed very obvious. Like I kind of knew where all the jokes were coming before they did. Um, they had so many things with like animals. Like they had the monkey around for a while.
So
Then was there like a bird or something? I was like, this, and I was watching like, this is what people are like considering like the greatest comedy of all time, or sitcom of all time. So I was just kind of I just never really laughed that much. I think the one time like I was like laughing out loud, I think it was something like a Halloween episode or whatever. And even though I don't like it's Ross, is that right? Even though I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like him normally, he's like probably my least favorite. Like, isn't there an episode where he's dressed as like a big beetle or something, or like an ant, or
He was an armadillo, the holiday armadillo.
oh yeah, yeah. Like I was cracking up on that one. That was funny. They got me really good on that one. But besides that, I mean, it's like Phoebe was just like a discount Kramer because I think they were kind of running at the same time, but Seinfeld started first. I think maybe they were a lot for a couple seasons, and Friends started like a bit later. And it's cool, like Lisa Kudrow does her thing, and she's good. But I just kind of felt like, oh, this is just like the Kramer character, and yeah. So I get like other shows, like it took sitcom and gave like a long lasting kind of. I mean, Seinfeld was kind of the first one to have like an arc go through like a whole season because before like sitcoms are just sitcoms, situational comedy. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could start the episode and end the episode, and the characters were in the same place, right? And there wasn't really a thread that had to tie the whole season together. And Seinfeld was kind of the first one to do like let's have a thread like go throughout the whole thing with them writing the pilot about creating a show that they're actually already on. So whatever, it's all those levels. So there's all that, and then there's Friends, and they have like a monkey, and it's like, oh, look at the monkey. But yeah. So I mean, I get like what Ace was talking about. I was like it makes like like a lot of sense about how you kind of get to watch the characters go through all these things. And I mean, like a big part of the show is just them all dating each other. It's just like big ancestral thing. But I mean, it is still something. You are seeing the characters kind of go year after year, and like there's that sort of a growth. So I get that. Without that, you probably wouldn't have How I Met Your Mother do that. Like I think How I Met Your Mother did it like better, but only because they had those building blocks, right? It's like they were given, hey, here's this great recipe, now we're going to try to improve upon it. So it's a lot easier to take someone's idea and make it better than to create your own idea from scratch. So I give him props for that. But yeah, overall, I wanted to like it. I was like, cool, let me just see what this is about. And I was just like, it's just it's very okay. But as with most things, where we were in that time and place will have a big influence on how you feel about that medium. So the nostalgia is there for me on like a Married with Children or Seinfeld, but not with Friends. But I get so many people have it with Friends, so I'm not gonna hate on that. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely one of those people that feel like it's not a funny show.
Yeah, definitely. I will always say it's not a funny show. I just think it's a good show. Like if like it's a movie, like it's a good movie because like you just got to watch it. It's just the story is there. I think it's a good story. Is there inner group dating? Sure. Is there monkeys? Definitely. Is there Brad Pitt that makes a quick stop? Sure. But overall, like just the story in itself, the character growth, I give it a thumbs up.
It's definitely it's not a hilarious show. It's a funny show though. But I will ask this. Who? So do you think it's Ross and Rachel were on a break or not on the break?
So
I,
this is my answer to that.
go ahead, Ace.
Ross, you guys just broke up. And for you to hook up with a female right away, that's bad. You technically, sure, you're on a break. But if Rachel was to hook up with a dude that same night, Ross, you would be hella pissed.
Hella pissed.
That's my take on it. So if for we're all let's say we're dating. If we were to break up with our chick right now, and we were to hook up with someone and then get back with our chick, or the chick finds out, she's like, "Oh, so you didn't take that long to forget about me?" We would definitely be in trouble. Technically, Ross
It's
is
not a
right.
good look.
Yeah.
It's not a
Technically,
good look.
Ross is right, but overall, Ross, you're wrong.
That's one. Yeah, I agree with Ace 100%. It's like you're not wrong, but you're wrong.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like,
now I guess I gotta ask this. Like, what is the great like? When do you have that green light to sleep with another person? Because obviously, yeah, I agree with you guys. Sleeping with someone right after is definitely a bad look. So when is it a good look?
well, I think that's contingent on a lot of things because one, like what kind, like how bad is the breakup, right? Like, is it
Oh yeah,
did you
just
get
based off of Ross and Rachel's
oh
exactly like
exactly like
how long they were together and stuff like that. For being Ross, how long would you have to wait?
so based on their example,
Yeah.
like on the Ross ratio, half a year to a year at least, like
Yeah,
minimum.
he would
And
have to wait another season or two.
yeah, like it would have to, yeah, it definitely like, and especially because they see each other all their neighbors, like their friends, they have the same like friend group, like
Mhm.
you would have to almost wait until she starts talking to someone.
Oh, so you would wait? Okay.
I mean, there's obviously
Yeah, yeah.
moving parts, but like longer than a day, that's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah, longer than 6 hours. I know that.
Okay. So you gotta wait a season. That makes sense.
That reminds me because of all this like inner group dating that they had. One of the things that made me genuinely laugh out loud, like a dumb moment, was with Joey and Rachel when she was trying to explain to him what unisex means.
No, you need
And
sex.
yeah, you and as like you and I sexing is like what? No, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this that I did laugh with that. It was so dumb,
Yeah,
but I mean that was Joey's character. He was supposed to be that like oblivious, take everything for like line for line, like this is exactly what you couldn't read between the lines type of character. But yeah, I that did remind me of that scene when y'all were talking about it. The inner dating, I mean.
I'll just have to say one thing on it is Chandler is over like in general, he's funny. Like they
Mhm.
did give him like he had the best comedic delivery, like the actor. Was it Matthew or whatever his name
Matthew
is?
Perry.
Yeah, Matthew Perry. There you go. Thanks. Yeah, I thought Chandler like for like day in day out putting in clocking in. I thought he did the best work on the show. Like he had the best timing, the best like kind of like comedy and stuff like that. So I give him props.
Agreed.
Yeah, honestly, I think my favorite character would be Joey, just because
Oh, yeah.
he couldn't read between the lines and
Mhm.
was oblivious.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you guys are gonna
yeah,
get.
Chandler always had that witty comeback.
Um,
I enjoyed Ross.
what?
The
I enjoyed.
dinosaur guy,
Why?
bro.
I enjoyed Ross.
Someone
He was
needs to,
just
huh? Someone needs to
he was
have
just like the weird one. Like we knew Joey was the good looking dumb jock, right? Chandler's gonna be the funny guy. Ross is just Ross, and I like Ross just being Ross.
He also likes Ross because of he likes Jill from Home Improvement and likes all these other milfs, so he kind of likes dinosaurs.
Oh.
Wow.
Yo, chill. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Damn. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, you
All
gotta
right.
take that
Officially
loss.
canceled. I'll be back.
So that's the equivalent of the comment that killed all the dinosaurs. That's what Albert just did to Ace. Welcome to the Ice Age, baby.
All
right,
Just
cool.
Step in.
I did growing up, I did have a crush on Rachel, but rewatching the series, Monica, I think Monica,
On Monica does it.
yeah.
I mean, well, because she was lately on Ace Ventura, right? And then I guess
Yeah.
she kind of carries that same like hairstyle and vibe. So
Yeah, she was.
And
yeah,
on
Courtney-
Scream.
Yeah, Courtney Cox.
And she was on Scream. She was
Mhm.
pretty
Yeah.
pretty good on Scream. Dang, that reminds me of something else, but no, that I'll save that for another day. Y'all remember Cameron Diaz on The Mask?
of course.
Oh yeah.
Does
Oh,
the
yeah.
bear shit in the woods? Come on.
Because Dre brought up, when Courtney Cox was on Ace Ventura, that just reminded me, like, oh man, Jim
Yeah,
Carrey
Cameron
had
Diaz.
Cameron Diaz on The Mask like that. She
Yeah.
looked.
Yeah, that was
Jim
mine.
Carrey
Mine-
used to get down with the best co-stars ever, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
He knew how to cast them.
he was crushing in the '90s.
100%. So a show for me, which again can be kind of teetering to 2000s, was that 70s show. And I think everyone can agree that show was hilarious. And yes, it's all because of Red.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Kitty
Oh yeah. And Fez and Hyde
and Donna.
and Ashton Kutcher.
And Foreman, man. Don't forget about Foreman.
Yeah, I said Red. Yeah, I said him.
Shoot, man. You better give Foreman some love.
Eric. That was just a good show. I mean, top to
The only,
bottom.
the only reason why I didn't put it in my '90s list is because I didn't like Seinfeld. I didn't watch it in the '90s. I watched it when I was a little bit older.
Yeah.
When they were still airing new episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was it's a really good sitcom. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. I was a little sad though that Topher Grace did leave out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but he did leave.
Oh, he didn't finish the show.
Did he not get along with the cast? Was that it?
It was more of like just trying to do bigger things, right?
Yeah. He came out. He's been in a lot of movies. Actually, and I think that's what it was. Like he just wanted to do something else.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate just because like it was such a good show. I think I would have watched it all the way through if he was still there.
Hey, but shout out to Ashton and Mila for finally getting together. So we're talking about also crushes. Mila Kunis was my crush too in the 90s, 2000s.
So it's funny that Ace was into MILFs, and then when Mila was first like cast, she was like 14. So
Hell yeah.
jokes. But honestly, like with her, I didn't really see her like beauty in that 70s show. I was really attracted to her with like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I was like, oh my gosh, where's Mila Kunis been all my life?
Right, because she was just like that young, annoying kid type character, right?
Yeah.
Like that was.
I was
that
definitely
what
into
she was
Donna.
playing. Like that was what she was playing. Yeah, Donna was kind of. She had
Girl
like
Next Door.
a statuesque vibe.
I didn't even know this when they were in the garage and all that smoke. I didn't know what that was back then.
Oh,
I was like, what are they talking about? Why is this like always a reoccurring scene?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
same.
But now that I'm a little older, like, oh, I know what y'all doing now.
They eat his sandwiches.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I thought it
that's
was
pretty-
just a transition to the next scene.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, why are they doing that? But
Like it's a pretty smart way to like get that across in a time when you couldn't have that on TV. You know,
I guess I wasn't that smart.
No, I think that was it because I thought the same thing. I was like, what like, and obviously those are hella funny moments with, specifically like Ashton Kutcher, because he was already the airhead on the show.
Mhm.
So he always said just the most outlandish, dumbest things during that like circle thing. So yeah, no, same. I didn't know what it was until years later.
Yeah. Like, oh, so that's what that was. So like
Until you
rewatching it,
partook in that same circle
yeah,
or a similar circle.
yeah, like oh, so that's what that was. Okay, this show is kind of cool now.
No, Albert, I haven't ever partaken in that kind of circle.
Oh, this is the 2010s episode.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. And also, Fez being an acronym for foreign exchange student took me a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time to register. Like, oh yeah, that's why he's named Fez. It's not FEZ, it's FES.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just
I
assumed
learned something new today.
Oh
you were,
damn.
You were today years old when you find out what that was.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna start calling him Fess.
Yeah, man. No, it's a foreign exchange student. That's why he was called Fez.
Whatever.
And what was that guy who was the one that worked with? Yeah, man.
Oh, Cheech.
Cheech, yeah. I thought he was really.
yeah.
I thought he was
that
really. Hey,
cool.
man, I'll watch this store for you, man. I thought he
You're
was
the
pretty
owner.
cool. Yeah.
Kool-Aid salad, man.
Hey, man.
Kool-Aid salad.
There's nuts in this salad. I was like, oh, this guy's cool, man.
This guy's cool, man.
Man, he's cool. He should be in that circle, man.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
just a
what else
funny
we
show.
got? So what
We
else
got Boy Meets World, Dre. We got
Oh
Boy
wow,
Meets
that's
World.
yeah, man. You guys have. I think you guys all had that on your list, right?
We did, because you were married with children, so we can start Boy Meets World and then talk about Mr. Ted Bundy. I mean Al Bundy. Al Bundy. Yeah, I went there. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, Boy Meets World. I mean, God, what a great show. My favorite was honestly like when he was in high school. That was really great, but it went just really funny, at least with Eric when they were in college for me. Well, later high school, early college with Eric, because Eric grew to be my favorite character, like hands down. As he got older and he wasn't just like the cool older brother, he was just like the dumb older brother that was just kind of like a Kramer type character. Like he was just very over the top for me.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I liked him when he was dumb. I liked the earlier.
Oh, when he was cool?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those are like I gotta because I actually rewatched a couple of episodes like a few months ago just because like I had nothing else to watch. And they really taught like a lot of lessons and stuff like that. It was crazy. I didn't know how much. I was like, damn, like that is it's one of those things where it's kind of good to watch now, you know.
Yeah, subliminal.
Props to Boy Meets World.
This shows another dumb thing for me. I thought Corey when he grew up. I thought Shia LaBeouf was Corey when he grew up. Like, oh, Corey from Boy Meets World is doing big things. Like, no, you idiot, that's not the same person. So yeah, putting myself out there.
Dre talking about Durant coming to punch me. Shia LaBeouf's gonna go and throw a chair at your head, Ace.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know Corey was doing big things, but nope, that's not the same person, Ace.
Corey in Transformers. Nah,
Exactly.
man. Dre, I know you liked Boy Meets World too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, great show. Obviously mentioned Topanga, like so. I think that was middle school. When they're also in kind of middle school. That was like kind of one of their first crushes. And I mean, great character and Minkus, like the nerd.
Minkus.
Like, I mean, is there a better nerd in like a show?
No.
than Minkus? Probably not.
Urkel
Yeah,
can
Mika,
probably.
Mika, she was dope, dude.
But yeah, so no, yeah, great show, heartful moments. Loved it when they'd go, Phoebe!
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I did that right.
Now you do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, we didn't hear you. Do
No,
it one
man,
more
let's
time?
hear it again.
That's all I got. And I'm not trying to blow people's ears out and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. Good moments, but yeah, I just didn't have it ranked. I mean, that was a cool thing about this exercise was that there's so many great shows from the 90s that putting in top 5, you know, doesn't do it justice. It makes it seem like, we're kind of snubbing a lot of people. So if were to do a top 10, there'd be a lot of people missing out on the top 10 shows. So yeah, great show. I just didn't have it on my list, but of course, I really enjoyed it as a kid for sure.
And a shout out to all the Halloween episodes on all these sitcoms, because I
Love them.
love
Yeah.
all the Halloween episodes from 90s sitcoms, especially Boy Meets World when they did the Scream episode. Oh man, they had South
That's the one
Park
where we were like stuck in the school, right? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my favorite one too. Yeah.
Yeah, they had Freddy Krueger references, they had Scream, they had South Park. They had I Know What You Did Last Summer, because Jennifer Love Hewitt came out in it and she was looking all hot as
Oh
hell.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like yeah, it was like peak Jennifer Love Hewitt. So before Can't Hardly Wait.
So settle down.
Oh, my bad. Good thing I'm
Settle
sitting down, guys.
Yeah, you're at your peak right now.
Oh geez. But yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree, like Boy Meets World. I know we all have Seinfeld, which we'll talk about in a second, but Dre, you want to lead us off with Married with Children?
Yeah, well, I
The
mean,
show, not in real life.
just a quick, obviously, so we did miss, I had Family Matters in my top 5, but
I'm sorry, I missed that.
no, it's all good. I know it's kind of long, so
Apparently, it doesn't matter.
just a quick, yeah, apparently not to Burkhead, huh?
Wow.
But yeah, Family Matters was just hysterical, great, family shows, especially for people in the Black community. They would want to see like a positive family role model, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, we had Fresh Prince, but Urkel, extremely funny. You had Carl Winslow. You had like the really cool episode. I think now, in the past couple of years, with all the stuff that's been going on with Black Lives Matter and people, using cameras to document what's going out on the streets. I saw like an old episode of Family Matters start to get circulated and stuff where like they're talking about how Eddie was getting pulled over by the cops unjustly and all stuff that happened, and then his dad who was a cop had to then go confront other cops, and it's like people, media, we've been like talking about it for years. Like it's been over 20 years, and they were doing episodes then about that sort of stuff. So it was never a secret. So little kudos and shout out to them for having that kind of important, moment in their show when it's just like mainly a show for having fun and comedy. So yeah, love Family Matters, but Married with Children, I don't know what it was about the show. I think what it was that I was a kid, and Al Bundy as a character was just so ridiculous in his crassness, his rudeness, his sloppiness, his like desire to just fixate on the time when he was in high school, which was the best time of his life, and everything else was just been crap and sucked.
Poke High, shout out Poke High.
Yeah, right. Him having like one of the biggest pleasures in life was sitting on a Ferguson toilet and just hearing the whoosh, just like all these things. It was just like such an irreverent like show that I gravitated towards it as a kid. And watching it now, you realize how it's a show that definitely could not be made now. Like what they were saying. For the sake of comedy, I think we have to like not be so serious about things. So I do like that it's kind of in its little capsule in that time frame. No Ma'am, when they had the guys in their little shirts, or a funny thing is if you look up Al Bundy insults, you get like 10 minutes of him making fun of women's feet when they're in the store and stuff. And obviously there's like also some insensitive things about fat women, but it was just like a historical shows. Christina Applegate came out, and that was awesome. So yeah, I would like watch it up. Yeah, late night. Like I think I was supposed to go to bed at 11, and like it'd be on from like back-to-back episodes of 10:30. And I'd always just like stay up and hope my parents didn't see me watching it. But like I just cracked up like hysterically at that show.
I really love the episode. I don't know if you remember, Dre, where he like fakes an injury, but it's during his bowling tournament. And so I think Peggy's bowling for him, or someone's bowling for him, and he's like, fuck, like there's no, like we're gonna lose, and it's a 7-10 split.
Oh,
and so he like takes off his like walking boot and he walks up and then it just cuts, and the next scene is him holding like a boombox playing "We Are the Champions" by Queen, and I'm just like, yes, yes, and everyone's all pissed off because he could have had like $10,000 or whatever
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was.
He always ruins things for his ego, right? Like
Yeah, like
there
he
was some other
needed
stuff
to
with the
win.
football. Yeah, with I think with like a football record that he ended up breaking. Yeah, he's just a very very funny character. If you're just not trying to take things too seriously, and
Right.
they had some great moments. There's like a cool episode where they go to England, and then he's being Bundy, making fun of English people and stuff. So that was really good. At these strip clubs, and oh yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of really bad jokes
Right.
um, at those like things. So I don't want
You
to,
can't have that. You can't have that on a sitcom anymore, right? Like you can't be
man.
going to a strip club in a sitcom nowadays.
No, yeah, they would get flamed so hard, like like misogynistic and this and that, which it was.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So yeah, loved Married with Children, loved it, loved it. I liked it more as a kid than I liked Seinfeld because Seinfeld was more kind of adult and like that was just kind of really like lowest denominator, kind of like catering towards like people just wanted to laugh at silly stuff. So, but yeah, great show.
My favorite episode from Married with Children. Well, not forgot it, but that's the one where he kind of climbs a mountain and he meets some guy at the top of the mountain, and then the guy goes, you want the answers to life? I wrote a song about life. You want to hear it? Sure." Here he goes. Or like he was like, "Brung, nothing." I was like, I was like, I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. But yeah, Married with Children was definitely. I didn't understand like, whoa, he was very misogynistic. I didn't understand it back then, but yeah, now would not fly at all
Right.
in 2021.
At least they
But
like made fun of him too. Like
Hmm.
Peggy always getting on the fact that he can't last longer than like 5 seconds, so or whatever in this like the bed. So he had no like sex drive and all that sort of stuff. So he got made fun of a lot too. But yeah, definitely like it wouldn't fly.
yeah, good show though.
For its time, for sure. Albizi, did I
Every
miss any of yours? Oh, go ahead.
every time Married with Children was on, I would just roll my eyes and you just yell, boring.
Oh, oh,
No, 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 I'm just
dang.
kidding.
Man. I mean, that'd be cool.
I've never really given it a chance to be honest. And I've never really legit like seen the full episode, but yeah, so I couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
You good? You good? That's
that's all
totally,
fair.
totally fine. But I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else's show because I'm sorry, Jerry. I totally forgot about family because we talked a little bit about Urkel earlier, so I apologize. I didn't mean to skip over that. I have Seinfeld coming up. Ace, I think Seinfeld was your number one. Dre, was that yours too? Albert, did I miss any of yours?
No, you're good.
We're good. So Seinfeld, 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 Seinfeld.
I think we were talking about it, whether if it's a classic or a timeless. I think it's timeless.
I think it's timeless too. I
100%.
Yeah, it's I dubbed it the Jay-Z of sitcom. It's just a really really good sitcom. Um, Glad that it came back into my life and I gave it an actual shot to watch. So thank you, Dre, for bringing it back into my life. Uh, Overall, it's just a super intelligent, and that's what I like about it. It's just super smart, like the situational comedy and how it just all ties back together from front to end. Super good, super good. I can't even like. There's no like. It's just a really really good show. People who have not seen Seinfeld, do yourself a favor and watch it and just experience the true genius of that show. It's just really really super good.
Yeah, not to knock obviously the other sitcoms we were talking about. Like there are other timeless sitcoms, but I feel like this is just being the best out of all of them. And if you were to say,
Go.
what's the show about, and it's about nothing,
Yeah.
like it, but it's just so good. It's mind-boggling.
Just
Yeah.
like Married with Children, the guy gets to the top of the mountain, right, Ace? What's
Yeah.
the world about? What's life about? Nothing. What's Seinfeld about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's one of
Um,
those things like why is Seinfeld so good? Is a lot of people ask me that question. Why is Seinfeld so good, or why do you
so
recommend Seinfeld, or what's it about? nothing. It's literally a story about nothing, but the way they do nothing is genius. Like, it's just so it's just they make it look so effortlessly, like so good. Like their day to day life is just, yeah, it's nothing. I don't know how to explain it. They
Yeah.
do nothing, but they do nothing so good.
It's like, well, yeah, like a lot of the things, a lot of the scenarios or episodes came out of like Larry David's like book of like just things that he wrote down about his own life, and then also with other writers like, oh hey, this happened to me once, and we thought this was funny. So yeah, they were very good at taking normal, common, everyday scenarios and situations and like pointing out the funny in that. And so I think that's why it kind of has so much longevity, because there is so much that a lot of people can relate to, as well as just like a great cast, people doing well like in those roles. But yeah, the fact that there's like a lot of things that I feel like can speak to a lot of different people, and still have like a unique perspective on it too, like because which was part of Jerry's comedy. And I think Larry David also kind of had that, like, and it was very popular in that 90s, early 2000s kind of time of like, oh hey, did you ever notice this sort of comedy? And so now it's kind of probably not really in vogue now, but yeah, it's really bizarre. Like, you think of just one start of the episode, Jerry and George are sitting at a table, and George is all flustered, and he's like, you ever get that feeling like, you just got a haircut, and then now like the back of your neck is all itchy now for like days, like I'm all itchy back here, and it's just like it's like such a weird random thing that no one else would ever talk about in a sitcom, but they do it, and then George is all flustered because he got a haircut a couple days, but the back of his neck is still itchy, and it's just like it's just so random, but they do it in such like a unique way. So
Or the various like Costanza way of doing things. Like nowadays it's social media and stuff like that. But before, when like when you were dating or waiting for phone calls or whatnot, like he left his hat or he would leave something behind. And like
the leave behind.
the leave behind, like Costanza, like there's so many George moments, and I'm just like, this, like, who comes up with this stuff?
George's dad was
Every day.
he would steal the show from me whenever he
Oh
would be
yeah,
on scene. Like,
right.
oh my god, such a hilarious. I love, rest in peace, Mr.
Yeah.
Stella, but
Yeah,
Yeah, rest in
he
peace.
was he
yeah,
was
he was
genius.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What when I mean, there's so many moments, but remember when Jerry and Kramer switch apartments because of
Oh right,
the
yeah.
chicken light, and then Jerry starts becoming Kramer? Like,
Yeah,
how
it's all
good was
those
that
cool,
episode?
exactly, all those cool like nuances. So I feel like that's just like the strength. Um, Obviously there's romances, like I think every episode almost Jerry has like a different girlfriend, and
Mhm.
there's some issue that he has to have with the girlfriend for that episode. So there's dating stuff in it, but like that was never really like kind of like the main focus of where like the struggles were. It's kind of like how they interact amongst themselves and try to get themselves out of trouble or issues that would then become like the focus. So yeah, he's kind of get quick schemes. He's always doing like the most work to not do any work at all. So I'm sure we've all known a person who's like lazy or always like kind of out of jobs. You always wonder like how did they get like around? George is super cheap and stingy. He's always trying to find a way to like not pay for anything, but always doing like really wild stuff. So yeah, it's just, and then it was really cool when they had when they would have episodes that were isolated in like one environment for the whole thing. So the Chinese
Like
restaurant,
the garage,
Subway,
The parking garage.
the parking garage.
yeah, the
Excuse me.
parking garage, and then the movie. So they had those, which I feel like hadn't really been done before. I don't really know if people have done that since, but those were very, very creative. And I remember, so the Chinese restaurant was like, I think it was like their second season or something like that. And that was the episode that really like blew them, like it put them on, like, right. So first off, if you haven't watched the show and you're thinking about it, you have to give it time. The first season's not very good. It's 6 episodes or something. Seasons 1 and 2 are very hit and miss, and then they're kind of figuring out their characters and stuff. So you have to like let it get to season 3 to when it really picks off.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chinese restaurant was kind of like the episode that really like got people talking about the show, and that was one that the studios didn't want to like do at all. Like they didn't like the idea of it being in one place for the whole time. They thought it was really boring. Nothing happens. But they're like, no, this is life. You know, sometimes you're just waiting for a table at a restaurant, and you know, this is what happened. So I think they're very creative for doing those sort of things, and with all the shows that we have listed and all the shows over the years, like I know the ones that take risks are the ones that usually end up hitting big or doing something important. So that's kind of something I've like paid attention to and tried to think about like just every day in my life stuff. It is important to take risks because you always hear those stories when they're talking about like this almost didn't happen or we got pushed back. They didn't want to like let this be our first single or what have you. And like it's always like taking the risk seems to pay off big.
Yeah, I mean, from every successful story that I've heard, or every um story or person trying to give you advice, it's always been like if you're not afraid to fail, you're more than likely to succeed, right? It's always that if you the the shot you don't take, you're always gonna miss, right? So um they took a chance, and I'm glad that they took a chance. And um I talked about Friends, where the one episode that got me into it, the one episode that I first saw that kind of got me into it was when Elaine started dancing at the party.
Mm.
And once I saw that, I was like,
Mm.
"Yo,
Yeah,
this is actually a
Mm.
pretty funny show." And then that's when I asked Dre, like, "Hey, like, I knew you had the seasons on you." I was like, "Do you have Seinfeld seasons?" He was like, "Oh yeah, see, like, so
yeah.
you mess with
I
the
got
shows
you.
now." Oh yeah, I mess with the show because I it's just one of those things. I was randomly at my house. I'm like, okay, well, Dre watches Seinfeld. Let me just put it in the background while I'm, I guess cleaning the spot. And then when I kind of turned around, I was watching Elaine doing her dance, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, what is she doing?" And that's when I was like, "Dre, yo, you mind if I borrow, before there was streaming, you mind if I borrow those DVD discs?" And then, and luckily Dre was graciously enough to let me borrow them. And did I ever return them? No, but thank you.
Still waiting on. Still waiting on. But yeah, what about the episode where they go back in time? Like the whole episode is it starts at the end and then they go back in time the whole time. Like
Yeah.
there's a
And
lot of crazy
Kramer's
stuff.
lollipop gets bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
It's like
was so good.
So,
a
like,
cool way
once
that they
again,
can
so
visually
smart,
show them. Yeah, so smart.
just so smart. It was just like, yeah, who can make doing nothing creative was is basically what Seinfeld's about. Like, it's just really, really such a good. Like, just even thinking about it makes me want to watch a couple of episodes right now. It's just so many good episodes.
Let's watch some tonight all together.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Imagine her taking credit for
Bet.
your big salad.
Some of my favorite random parts was it's like not even an important part of the episode. It's like not even like it doesn't drive it forward or anything. But it was when Costanza walks in the apartment with the NBC executive, and Jerry gets a phone call. It's a telemarketer, and Jerry's like, "Oh, like I'm kind of busy right now. Why don't you give me your home phone number and I'll call you back later?" And the telemarketer is like, "I'm sorry, sir, I can't do that." I was like, "Oh, is it because you wouldn't like that?" And he was like, "Yeah." Well, now you know how I feel, and hangs up, and it continues to speak. I'm just like that. Like it's all relative to like how we would feel, but like it's just like something that like it was just so random, but yet so true, and it's hilarious.
That's such a good moment, Albert. That's
Yeah.
I remember that. I
Yeah.
love also like Dre is right. Like Newman is so funny to me. And I forget what happens exactly in the episode, but like Elaine's like, I need someone to help me out. And then it's like Newman in a dark room, like, yes. Like
Oh
who do
yeah.
I go to? And it's like Newman. Go
I
ahead,
wanted
They
to
get
Elaine.
like
fight
a
Newman so bad. He just like he has like that face and personality. You just want to sock him in his forehead.
He's in Space Jam.
Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, Newman's great. Like I love like what about when they were playing Risk, him and Kramer,
Oh,
and then the guy
Yes.
from Ukraine smashes their board on the subway. That was great. Or like the bus. Yeah, there's a lot of great. Yeah, it's just yeah, as Albert said, like that's where I feel like it's so like kind of intelligent. There's just so many like funny things that you wouldn't normally think to put into a show.
Yeah.
Just like, like Jerry and Elaine are talking about like, like someone just told me, Happy New Year's and it's March, and then they start discussing how late it's too late to say Happy New Year. They're like, oh yeah, I got in April. It's like there's no way I'm getting in April. It's just like so they're just like talking about like how dumb people are for saying Happy New Year and it's like March. So it's just like it's like a type of humor that was specifically kind of catered to that show. So
I think anything past January is too late. Like you can say Happy New Year anytime in January, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's about it. You can't go past January.
Yeah. Agreed.
So you're telling me there's an expiration date on Happy New Year greeting?
It has to be the end of January of the
Right?
next year.
100%.
You never say Happy New Year in February.
Well, let's wait for 2022 then.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, is that going to be this year or next year?
20. Oh, okay. 2022.
Oh yeah, that's also
that was another
time.
Seinfeld thing. Like,
Seinfeld.
is this Saturday the Saturday in 2 days, or is next Saturday the Saturday in 2 days? Because in my mind, next Saturday is next weekend, Memorial Weekend.
But this Saturday is the next Saturday.
You're not wrong, Dre.
That's what
You're not wrong, but the way I think about it, this Saturday is upcoming, and next Saturday is the Saturday after this Saturday.
So it's great that was like just a random joke in the show. And it wasn't like the plot was around it. They just said it, and then they had a little argument, and then they moved on.
Yeah.
Like with the guy like moving cars or something. So yeah, there's a lot of like wild stuff in it.
Yeah.
My favorite character, just to get your guys' favorite characters. Actually, I'll let you guys say first. So I don't want to spoil the waters with my own opinion.
I mean, Seinfeld is, I love Seinfeld, but I grew to love George Costanza. Okay. I hated him so much throughout the show.
Yeah, you did.
But when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, they can't have him without the show. Like he's just so good.
Yeah.
So also George's dad. So that's probably my two favorite characters.
Yeah.
What about you, Albert?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. But I just had to Jerry, obviously. And then damn, I don't know why I want to say Kuzma, but the neighbor.
Kramer.
Oh,
Kramer.
Oh dear, Kuzma, because we're talking about Lakers. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, the K family is still in there, so we're good.
For sure, Kramer with me. Like for sure, like he's just moneying me. But honorable mention and definitely a close second, Elaine's boss.
Oh yeah,
Peterson.
Yeah.
Man, that was gonna be mine, man.
Man, my bad. Because that guy has that guy has the voice. Like his voice alone is just like money.
Also, watching it now, I didn't know George was such a playboy. I didn't know that watching it until I watched it. Yeah.
That dude is a tomcat. Knox, like that dude gets chick. Like he pulls.
George
he has
Costanza?
mad pull. Yeah, he's always like with a different girl too.
Oh well, yeah, they all
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, he almost had that. But yeah, Jay Peterson is definitely my favorite. Like he's just obviously he's a side character, but he just like his dialogue, his manner of speaking was always just so. I always loved all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure, Peterson. His crazy expeditions and journeys and stuff like Elaine. I just got this cheesecake and it's $20,000. Like that guy is money for sure.
Is he when he wanted the golf clubs?
Oh yeah.
that was who was Seinfeld's mechanic? Was that Frasier?
No.
Or Ray Romano?
It was his brother. It was Ray Romano's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert.
That shit, and he like I can't let you get this car back, Jerry.
So good, super good.
I think we can have a full like discussion on Seinfeld. Like honestly, like we can probably talk about that for days.
For sure.
So stay tuned for next week when we talk about nothing but Seinfeld. No, I'm kidding. But I think that's a good. God damn it, Albert. But I think that's a good stopping point. we definitely have a lot to say, and we definitely said a lot. So yeah, let's wrap it up here, gentlemen, and bid everyone adieu. There you go, Albert. That's it.
Thank you.
That's it. Catch you on the next one.
That was a good discussion, guys. Appreciate it.